Well, today we welcome a return of our good friend Lee Handel for another segment of I Love the Lowcountry series, where we explore some of the lesser known facts about the Charleston history. So, Lee, I understand there was a recent anniversary, a seldom recalled event that still has a little bit of controversy, but we greeted each other this morning just a few moments ago. She made my day. She said, "Tom, I had a dream about you last night." So that's a great way to start off. You know, we're talking about, though, ghosts that are literally in the Charleston area.
Yeah, you know, sometimes when you're talking about a specific property, people will say something like, oh, you know, it's hallowed ground because people are buried there. Frankly, I don't think you can take a step around Charleston, you're not stepping on somebody's grave.
Okay.
Yeah, given all the wars and the natural disasters and the disease that we've had, we've got ghosts hanging out all over Charleston.
Let's start off with back in July the 11th of 1786 with Mr. Goodwin's theater, new theater
Yes,
of sorts?
we just had an anniversary this weekend of the opening of Harmony House, which was a theater that Mr. Goodwin opened. It was advertised in the South Carolina Gazette at the corner of Meeting and Calhoun, just on the north side of Calhoun, so he wouldn't have to pay city taxes. That's when Calhoun was Boundary Street. So it's either, I don't know if it was on the east or the west side, either where Marion Park is now or the little gas station next to Mother Emanuel Church, was where this was. So nothing remains of the theater physically, but some people have recounted incidents of something remaining spiritually. And that is because back in the 1780s, a young man, Joseph Brown Ladd, he was son of a farmer, did not do well in the farming industry. He wanted to use his head, not his hands, and studied to be a doctor at 15. He was from Rhode Island.
Wow.
And long story short, he was in the library and fell in love with a young lady named Amanda.
Really?
He was,
our director's name is Amanda, and everybody falls in love with her as well.
Anyway. Well, this isn't Amanda's story. And he wrote love poetry to Amanda.
At 15?
Yeah.
Studying to be a doctor, and now already in love.
He had it bad. He had it bad.
Okay.
So Amanda was an orphan, and her guardian did not want her to get married because her guardian, of course, controlled her wealth that her parents had left her. And so he began ugly rumors about young Joseph to break them up. And so Joseph worked for a doctor, Dr. Center, who had been friends with Nathaniel Greene, who you'll recall was a famous Revolutionary War general who was here in Charleston. And Greene told him to go to Charleston, that he would find good work here and he would make his own fortune and could bring Amanda down. So he did. He came to Charleston. He got off the wagon, as it were, and it was at a kind of rough inn with the kind of rough guys hanging around. And a young man, Ralph Isaac, stepped out and said, "Let's get you out of here before you get in trouble." It's the new kid in town. So Dr. Ladd took a room at 59 Church Street in the Thomas Rose house. And he always whistled. He was a great doctor. He rose quickly in the social ranks of Charleston. And this is the only ghost story that has actually been recorded on the historic plaque of the house. That's how often he's been heard. But they went to the theater, this Harmony House Theater, and it was a performance of Richard III. Mr. Goodwin starred as Richard, and an actress started, a young actress starred as Anne. And afterwards, of course, Dr. Ladd sat with the social elite in the boxes, and poor Ralph Isaacs was down in the pits, you know, with the less fortunate. They got together to walk home that night and had an argument over the actress, whether she was any good or not. And one insult went with another, and before you know it, they were putting insults to each other in the newspaper and challenged each other to a duel. The duel...
Let me ask you this. During this theater that was going on, was there alcoholic beverages served?
No, I don't think so.
So they were sober when they were doing this.
Well,
but there was a duel that took place either at the College of Charleston or Philadelphia Alley.
I have to say, a lot of the facts about the story, and what I'm sharing with you are facts. And documentable facts. Some sources say that the duel occurred at the College of Charleston, which had been Revolutionary War military barracks at the time before the college was established there. Others have Philadelphia Alley, which is a little bit of a creepy alley. Here's a picture of it. I could see a ghost there. But at any rate, duels were formal things, and they were always fought over petty stuff. If it was serious, you went ahead and took care of it right then. But petty stuff like this, you would have a formal duel, and they were very structured, and the dueling pistols matched perfectly. You had the same amount of powder. This is a pair that's at the Charleston Museum.
Those are gorgeous.
They are, and they were designed to be absolutely fair to both parties. You know, you do your 20 paces and fire. But generally, because these were petty arguments, you would fire wide or in the ground. You really didn't often kill people in a duel. It was really you were there to defend your honor. And of course, Dr. Ladd knew what had happened to him in Rhode Island when that guardian spread rumors about him. So he felt he had to defend his honor. So he, of course, was not interested in killing his friend. He missed on purpose.
What about his friend, though?
His friend was kind of mad about it.
He capped him?
He capped him.
Oh, my
he got
goodness.
him in either one or both knees, depending on which source you read. And they took him back to his room. He did survive. Took him back to his room on Church Street, where he languished for a couple of weeks before he passed. And the whole time he was writing poetry to Amanda, which his sister, Mrs. Hayward, collected. I found it on Amazon. There's an original volume. It's called The Literary Remains of Dr. Joseph Brown Ladd, and the Charleston Library Society on King Street has an original 1832 copy. But you can go on Amazon and buy a new copy easily.
Wow.
So if you're interested in that.
We got a little bit of time left.
Of course.
Now, we talk about ghosts that are still in the Charleston. We got a staircase that you saw a ghost on, is that right?
That's where, actually, no, it's not a C. This one with Dr. Ladd, he whistled all the time. And so he whistled up and down the staircase in that property. In 1940s, Stott's family, this is the staircase, yes. I've been on it a number of times and never heard a whistle. But Mrs. Stotts, who lived there, bought it in the 40s, restored it, and slept in the bedroom that they believe was the room he passed in. She said in 1986 in a Today Show interview that she had heard noises, but she felt the ghost was, first off, she said, if there are ghosts, and I'm not saying there are, but that she felt it was a very friendly, protective ghost and protected the house and the people who lived there.
Oh, wow.
And I spoke to her granddaughter, who is the most recent occupant of the house, and she would neither confirm nor deny anything, but she said she agreed with her grandmother. If indeed the ghost was on the stairs whistling, she wasn't worried about it because he seemed like a nice guy.
Wow, Lee Handel, always a pleasure, always interesting. Yeah, you got goosebumps on us and everything about the ghost. Man, it's fantastic. We want to see you back here real soon once again. We got much more of Low Country Live right after the break. Stay with us.